Under Jack Hartman, he is part of this American basketball team that came up flat in its opener against Mexico. They fell behind 20-4 at the start of the game, and the Mexicans just turned up the pressure cooker. But then the United States team regrouped. It was Mark Price out of Georgia Tech who ignited the rally. He came off the bench to team with Jordan to lead the United States from behind to win and advance to the next round. The final score was 74-63 as the United States, led by Jordan and Price, put away game number one. The next opponent would be tougher than Mexico. One of the fastest improving basketball programs in the world is that of Brazil, and they were determined to upset the United States. It was close in the first half, and that was Sam Perkins of North Carolina with a steal. He'll go to Leon Wood, Cal State Fullerton, who led the break and went to Jordan for the lay-in. But Brazil jumped out to a 10-point lead, and they shot extremely well from the field in the first half. The U.S. trailed all the way until the closing minutes. But it was Michael Jordan who led the team from behind, and they finally managed to tie the score at 65. Then with 11 seconds to go, the U.S. up by a point. Ed Pinckney grabbing the rebound. They hit to Jordan, who had 27 points, and the United States had won its second game by beating Brazil. And so now the stage is set, the clock has been fixed, and the game is underway, and let's go back to Gary and Billy.
It's a 2-0 ball game. The United States jumping on top. Leon Wood hitting his first basket of the competition as Venezuela now will set it up. This is Doug Barina, who's been inserted into the starting lineup primarily for his defensive purposes to guard Michael Jordan. Venezuela starting a smaller lineup, but they're a very physical team, something that concerns Coach Jack Hartman. Here's Ivan Olivares, who will be playing in the United States next year. Back outside is Olivares.
You can see, Gary, that Jack Hartman likes to play the zone, but this zone's much more aggressive than it was the other day against Brazil.
And Douglas Barina, 21 years old, ties the ball game up 2-2. The United States has made very few changes in their starting lineup. Wood and Jordan have started every game thus far at guard. Sam Perkins has started every game at forward. Tisdale at center, but Sitton, who has the ball now, has started the last two. They started Greg Stokes the first game. Coming up with us, Luis Sosa. Off it comes to Barina. 2-2 our score. 18-15 to go in the first half. Again, Venezuela has lost their first two games. They need a win here to try to get into the next round of play. The United States has won their two opening games, but they've had to go down to the wire on both of them.
You can see in that 3-2 zone, Charlie Sitton playing out top, which makes it very difficult for the point guard to throw the ball across court.
Here comes Leon Wood from Cal State Fullerton. And Wood, who didn't score in the first two games, has the first 4 points for the United States.
Leon, the only fellow that was not at the Pan Am trials, as most people realize, but put on that squad, maybe on the recommendation of Pete Newell, supposed to be the best point guard in the country.
There's the best shooter on Venezuela, Olivares, as you look at their coach, Francisco Diaz.
And in fairness to the Venezuelan team, they had to play last night and come back out here and play early in the afternoon, so not a lot of favorites being played.
Raymond Tisdale, rebound cleared by Palacios. Off it comes to Barina. Leon Wood halts his progress, baseline, and they'll bring it back out.
Olivares was waiting out there for that jump shot. Nobody got him the ball.
Palacios misses everything. Here comes Wood. Jack Hartman wants to run today. Michael Jordan, the leading scorer, the 20-point average is off his foot.
Leon might have been better off picking up and taking that jumper, but you can see the transition game working pretty well off the break.
There's Hartman, Bob Chipman, and Lon Kruger, his two assistant coaches, former players and assistants at Kansas State.
There's a fake that Olivares does very well, and Michael Jordan went for it, a little bit embarrassed. The overhead pass fake.
Palacio brings it out to Olivares. He's 6'5", got great range from outside. That time not finding the mark. Followed by Sosa. He was intimidated, and we have a foul over the back. Olivares, trying to follow tip, picks up the foul for Venezuela.
Now, one of the things in this zone defense the United States team's going to have to do is block out a little bit better, because they will crash. They, being the Venezuela team, will crash from the back court even. And there was the foul over Tisdale's back.
You have to have 9 team fouls before you start shooting free throws. There's a 30-second clock in effect. Michael Jordan off to Sitton out of Oregon State. Back to Sam Perkins, the leading rebounder, and Perkins makes it 6-4.
Sam Perkins led the comeback against Brazil. He has played very well in the last couple of ball games. Both teams playing his zone defense. Venezuela matching up a little bit more.
This United States team battling distractions. 2 tough games. They've had a few days off trying to get ready for this one. Sosa, he is fouled. It's going to be Leon Wood. Francisco Diaz, who has his doctor's degree from Springfield College in the United States. He's now a professor here in Venezuela.
Of course, from Springfield College is Ed Stites, who is in charge of the rules in the United States, and everybody realizes Springfield is where the game was founded.
Also, the assistant coach, Ray Ricketts, for Venezuela from Springfield College. And yes, he is a brother of Dick and Dave Ricketts. Sosa, a very popular player. There's Diaz again.
I'd say he's the prototype of what we see down here in the South American countries of their form of a power forward. He battles inside, doesn't have great size, but he takes no quarter and asks for none.
It's all tied up. 6-all. 15-51 in the first half. Wood, rebound Tisdale. And he is fouled as he goes up. The basket will count. A chance for a three-point play. And Jack Hartman.
Here we'll see Wayman Tisdale's great hands on the inside. Look at the power. He pushes his man away, goes right back up and lays it in, has an opportunity for the three-point play.
Here's the man that Jack Hartman says can be a force. He'll be a sophomore next year at Oklahoma. 9-6 on the three-point play. 3 points now for Tisdale.
And you can see the factor Sitton is playing out in the top of that zone defense. Tough to shoot over him.
Boy, this guy's not afraid to put him up, is he? Oliveras, a fast break. Jordan on the break. Uh-oh, that'll be charging, I believe. No, they're going to call a blocking foul on Venezuela.
Kind of interesting. They had a referee's counseling here this morning on the charge block call. I thought, to be quite honest with you, he had pretty good position there, and I thought it was a charge on Michael Jordan myself, and they've been calling everything in favor of the defense. On that one, it went the other way.
This is Felice Parisi coming in. Farina, number 11, will check out for Venezuela as Michael Jordan at the line. He'll have 3 to make 2. Jack Hartman has done such a job at Kansas State. He will be entering his 17th year, or I should say his 14th year at K-State. Be alongside him, Craig Cox, the team manager.
Good
followed
tap
up by Sitton. Charlie Sitton with a follow.
You can go ahead into that lane if you're the offensive club. Sitton timed it very well that time.
They very seldom call goaltending. You can interfere with that ball and once it's up on the rim.
Exactly. A big difference in international play. When it touches that rim, you can go get it either offensively or defensively.
Here is Felice Parisi. He played at Jacksonville University. Palacios. Oscar Palacios, who was a 1 year at Boston University, didn't like it, and returned home to his native country. And it's 12-8, the United States.
You can see that the wings on that zone are really spread out. A lot of room in the middle.
And we're going to have a foul. Number 15 picking it up. A big, rugged performer, Jose Solano.
You'll see Solano come all the way across on this one to bang Sam Perkins as he was reaching for the ball. And Solano, very much like Sosa, prototype power forward, very physical player. 14th
foul now against Venezuela. You said bang. That's the big thing about international competition. They are physical. Here's Sitton's going to let it go out. It'll be the USA's ball.
Good hustle by Sosa.
Sitton, in the estimation of Jack Hartman, a blue-collar worker, maybe the hardest worker on the team. That'll be out of play. No, he saved it over the back. Jordan follows. Usually when you go behind the glass, it's out of play. 12-8. Here's Parisi. He's been starting every ball game before this one. Oliveras. He's going to be playing for Springfield College next year.
I think Oliveras is really pumped up for this game, Gary, knowing he's going to the States to play, wanting to show these fellas that he's going to be a factor there.
A 2-point lead now for the United States. 14-14 to go in the first half of play. And now the crowd's starting to get into it. And that's what Hartman didn't want, was to get this crowd fired up. Jordan, bad shot.
Michael Jordan has not been shooting well. Our team's shooting under 40%. And Michael's the guy been putting up most of the shots, particularly from the perimeter.
Jordan had a great game the second time out. 27 points, 22.